Hey, what's up? Welcome back. First off, the headline that people will notice in clips and competitive matches is the knockout ability behavior during contested catches. Previously, you could see the KO ability flash, the defender make contact, and somehow the receiver would walk away with the ball like nothing happened. Frustrating, inconsistent, and easy clickbait for angry highlights. The patch specifically changes the logic so that when a knockout roll succeeds and contact happens during the catch, the ball is knocked out regardless of the tackle type. The dev note also mentions that you might still see the ability light up on some break on ball animations without a knockout actually occurring, because the visual and the knockout roll are separate systems. That subtle separation explains a lot of the lingering weirdness people were complaining about and should make gameplay feel more consistent. Defensive players who rely on disguising coverage got some good news too. There was an annoying bug where certain nickel formations wouldn't let you change coverage shells. If you're the kind of player who mixes looks or plays mind games pre-snap, that bug really hurt your ability to adapt. The update restores the option to change shells again in those formations, making defensive play calling smoother and more unpredictable. It's one of those quiet fixes that makes a big difference for anyone serious about online or franchise defense. Then there are the smaller but meaningful fixes. Things like a wing TE automotion in an Eagles singleback set that wasn't behaving right, a Bears gun wing snap issue on flipped plays, and a Steelers singleback to TE pass route that could break unexpectedly. For most players, these might sound like minor things, but for people who spend hours building custom playbooks or who have muscle memory for specific routes, these changes are huge. It's the kind of polish that removes randomness and helps your plays execute the way they were designed. Another area this update touches is overall stability. EA included general crash and connection fixes aimed at cleaning up mid-game disconnects and weird game freezes that could kick players back to the main menu. You won't necessarily see this improvement, but over time you'll notice fewer of those frustrating moments where the game hangs right after a big play or freezes on a transition screen. For creators or competitive players, that's a quiet blessing. Fewer interruptions means smoother recordings and cleaner matches. The Madden community has reacted in a pretty predictable way. A lot of people are happy to see the KO and shell issues fixed, but they're also quick to point out that certain problems still linger, especially around franchise rosters and ability updates not always applying without restarting the mode. So while this patch is a solid step forward, it doesn't magically solve everything. Still, there's a noticeable improvement in gameplay flow, and if you've been frustrated by weird contested catches or limited defensive options, this is the patch that addresses exactly those pain points. When you're talking about it in your video, it might be cool to show a before and after clip of a KO scenario. Show the old version where the ability triggers, but the receiver still makes the catch. Then follow it up with the patched version where the ball finally pops out. That refers to the articulate. That visual contrast helps instantly get what changed. You could also show how coverage shell switching is back in those nickel sets, explaining why that's important for disguising coverage and reacting to opponent formations. Throw in one of the fixed play animations too, like that Eagles or Bears play, just to highlight the attention to detail in the patch. This update isn't reinventing Madden, but it's tightening up the parts that make the game feel inconsistent or unpredictable. It's about making defense more reliable, animations more polished, and the overall experience smoother. Even if it doesn't headline as a massive content drop, it's the kind of patch that keeps the core gameplay healthy. If you've been grinding Ultimate Team, franchise, or just playing head-to-head, you'll feel these tweaks the next time you line up. More reliable knockouts, fewer weird animations, and a little extra control on defense. That's what this patch brings to the table, and honestly, it's the kind of maintenance Madden needs more of.